Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Best wishes to us all. A warm welcome to our honored guest, Mrs. Rosa Vivian Ratnawati, Executive Secretary, Ministry of Environment, Principal Secretary, EPA Indonesia. His Excellency Olivier Zander, Ambassador of Switzerland to Indonesia, Timor-Leste and ASEAN. Mrs. Enya Lisiani Dewi, Director General of Renewable Energy and Energy Conservation, Ministry of Energy and Mineral Resources of the Republic of Indonesia. Mr. Henry Cha, President Director PT Endress+Hauser Indonesia. Mr. Matthias Altendorf, President Supervisory Board Endress+Hauser Group. Welcome to Endress+Hauser Indonesia Sustainability Recognition Forum 2025. I'm Cinta Zahara, an economic and business journalist from CNBC Indonesia, and I'm truly honored to be your host today. Amid the global transformation towards a greener and more sustainable future, this forum marks a strong commitment to supporting the net zero emission target and building a resilient, globally competitive industrial ecosystem. More than just a strategic discussion platform, this event also recognizes and appreciates industry leaders who have become pioneers in implementing environmental, social, and governance principles in visionary and impactful way. This year, we proudly carry the theme, Empowering Industry, Advancing Sustainability. To commence the forum, let's listen to the opening speech delivered by Mr. Henry Cha, President Director of PT Endress+Hauser Indonesia. Mr. Henry Cha, the stage is yours.
Selamat pagi, Bapak dan Ibu semuanya. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Let me begin by extending my deepest appreciation to His Excellency Ambassador Olivier Zander, the Swiss Ambassador to Indonesia, Timor-Leste, and ASEAN. Ibu yang terhormat, Her Excellency, Ibu Sekretariat dari Ibu Vivin, dari Ministry of Environmental. Thank you for joining us. Matthias Altendorf, Mr. Matthias Altendorf, President of the Supervisory Board. Thank you so much for spending time in Indonesia as well. And also our distinguished key speaker, panelists, and of course our esteemed customer, partners, and friends. Thank you so much for joining us here today. Welcome to Endress+Hauser Indonesia Sustainability Recognition Forum 2025. This is the second forum. We are very proud to host this event together in partnership with CNBC Indonesia. And of course, sustainability cannot be just one-off conversation or event. You have to need a continuity. So that's why the themes for this year, empowering industry, advancing sustainability, it also reminds us that we, from the industrial world, we have the tools and we also have the capability to move this topic forward. This is why we are here, to recognize what is working, what is the thing that we need to learn each other, but also to push this topic together and keep pushing. This is our intent and why we organize such an event for our customer and partners. I have few presentations because also it's my job to introduce our company as well. Otherwise, then I have a problem, right? So I need to do that. Yeah, can someone help me to? Let me try. Yeah, sustainability also means business continuity. You need to grow together, year after year. So our journey, our success, it's all because of you. For that, we are truly, truly grateful. On behalf of all of us in Endress+Hauser Indonesia, we say thank you for all of you as our customer. We are proud to be recognized as the best place to work in Indonesia, because sustainability also means start from within. You need to build a good places for our people to excel, to stay, and also to grow. Strong culture, I believe, it also means strong continuity. This is, I believe, is the strongest foundation for sustainable business to come. Over the 30 years, we have built a solid presence across the Indonesia. So we have offices in Jakarta, in Surabaya, and in Medan. We keep investing on our office and our people. Now we're also investing in Morowali. So all this investment is to reflect that our growing commitment to work together, to work closely with our customer, and also as a reflection to say that our presence in Indonesia is for long. Endress+Hauser is a Swiss family business. As a Swiss family business, we strive for longevity and stability. Our executive board, led by Dr. Peter Selder as a CEO, he leads the organization, steers the organization with a very clear purpose that making sustainability is a top strategy priority for our group, not just for today, but for the long run. And the executive board is supervised and guided by the supervisory board to make sure that the governance, more importantly, the alignment of the group is toward our brand value. One of them is sustainability. And the supervisory board is led by Mr. Matthias Tendo as a president, who are with us today. I'm also pleased to re-announce that at the beginning of the year, January 2025, Endress+Hauser entered into the strategic partnership with a German company, SIG AG, in process technology. So this partnership allow Endress+Hauser to take over the worldwide sales and service of the gas analyzer and also gas flow measurement. And we also formed 50-50% joint venture for the product development and production. This partnership will strengthen the position of the Endress+Hauser in the market to move forward to support our customer toward more cleaner energy, cleaner industry, like emission monitoring as one of the example. At Endress+Hauser, we view sustainability as a two sides of the coin. First, we look into what we do. We make sure that sustainability at our operation, how we reduce the emission, how we ensure safe supply of the good, careful use of the resources, and all committed into the ESG is something very important for us. But on the other side, we also look into how our technology can help our customer to achieve their sustainability target at the plant level. Both are essential and both must move together. We observe and we saw there's a two mega trend that fundamentally reshaping our future. One is sustainability is not only on the compliance topic. It is about the long-term viability to meet the rising expectations of our customer, of the investor, and also the society, and also about attracting young more people into the organization, because young people is the future of the industry, and you want to make sure that we are part of the future industry. And on the other hand, at the same time, digitalization, it also enables the industry to move faster with the data, with the technology that give the opportunity to have more data-driven decision-making. It's unlocking the new level of the digitalization and also innovation. So this divergence is really something not optional, but it's a strategic one. And we believe that any company who embrace it at the first chance will bring the future competitive advantage. Sustainability is a part of the larger system. So this kind of a topic, like decarbonization, circular economy, energy efficiency, we cannot decouple this kind of the topic and term from our daily business conversation, from our daily business operation. I think business is not as it used to be before. Business is not just as business. Now business is equal to business plus sustainability to become one word. You cannot decouple sustainability from the common business discussion. So thank you. I hope you're going to enjoy the today's discussion and also presentation. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Henry Chia, President Director PT Endress+Hauser Indonesia, for your opening speech. And next we will hear a welcoming speech from Minister of Environment, Head of Environmental Protection Agency, His Excellency Mr. Hanif Faisal Nurrafiq, represented by Mrs. Rosa Vivian Ratnawati, Executive Secretary, Ministry of Environment, Principal Secretary EPA Indonesia. Please welcome Mrs. Rosa Vivian Ratnawati.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Salam sejahtera buat kita semua. Shalom, Om Swastiastu, Namo Buddhaya, salam kebajikan. Good morning and best wishes to all of us. Honorables, Excellency Olivier Zender, Ambassador of Switzerland to Indonesia, Timur Leste and ASEAN, Bapak Henry Chia, Presiden Director PT Endress+Hauser Indonesia, Bapak Matthias Altendorf, Presiden Supervisor Board Endress+Hauser Group, and ladies and gentlemen. Firstly, I would like to say thank you to Almighty God that for His grace and gifts, so that we are given the opportunity and strength to be able to attend the Indonesia Sustainability Recognition Forum 2025 event organized by CNBC and PT Endress+Hauser Indonesia. On this good occasion, I would like to express my appreciation to Endress+Hauser Indonesia and CNBC as the host of this wonderful discussion platform between all stakeholders, especially the industrial sector, in fostering a green economy in Indonesia to be more competitive globally. Ladies and gentlemen, the need for integrating environmental protection and management efforts into all lines of industry is currently very urgent, considering that we are facing the triple planetary crisis, which includes climate change, loss of biodiversity, and environmental pollution and damage. Several main causes of the triple crisis are closely related to the production, distribution, and consumption of goods and services, including the industrial sector activities. almost every human activities cause emission. However, the use of energy, industry, transportation, buildings, and agriculture are the primary causes of the massive release of greenhouse gases into the atmosphere that eventually lead to climate change. Air, water pollution are caused by various things, ranging from traffic, factory activities, to forest fires and domestic activities. In addition, we have to remember the loss of biodiversity is caused by numerous activities, ranging from overfishing to habitat loss, such as deforestation and land use changes, to desertification due to climate change. Ladies and gentlemen, but the root of the triple planetary crisis is that our economic growth model still prioritizes a linear economic model of take, use, and dispose. But I believe that the companies attending here is not like that. They are thinking about sustainability. So that's why you are here with me. We applaud together. For this reason, the UN calls on all parties, both government, business, and society, to collaborate together to face it. In our opinion, the Indonesia Sustainability Recognition Forum 2025 is one form of collaboration that needs to be continuously supported in our efforts to overcome the triple planetary crisis. At the national level, although there have been many improvements, there are still quite worrying conditions. For example, the 2024, the Jabodetabek or Greater Jakarta emission inventory study by ITB, Institute Teknologi Bandung, shows that 3 regions with the highest emission load are Bogor Regency, Bekasi Regency, and Jakarta. With emission sources coming from industry, power plant, and transportation. In addition, air quality monitoring data for PM2.5 parameter throughout 2019 to 2024 in Jabodetabek area shows a tendency for values that exceed ambient air quality standard in June to August each year. For water quality management and protection, ambient water quality monitoring data at 7.094 points throughout Indonesia shows that only 25% of water bodies have water that meet quality standard. As many as 64 are included in the category of light pollution, 10% moderate, and 1% heavy pollution. From biodiversity perspective, Indonesia ranks second on the 2022 Global Biodiversity Index after Brazil, but there are 375 fish species, 222 mammal species, 185 coral reef species, and 169 bird species that are threatened with extinction. For example, the Java rhino, Sumatran rhino, Java banteng, and are all included in the critically endangered species type from the IUCN list. On the other hand, based on data from the Global Waste Management Outlook 2024, there is still 38% of global waste that is not managed properly, which contributes to the triple planetary crisis, namely, again, climate change, biodiversity loss, and environmental pollution and damage. And now we see the data of domestic waste management. We have data from the National Waste Management Information System. We call it SIPSN. Sistem Informasi Pengelolaan Sampah Nasional. From the Ministry of Environment, from my office, which was opened on March 12, 2025, shows that the amount of waste generated in Indonesia is, our waste together, 556.63 million tons per year. And how about the composition of manageable or not manageable? Still 60.99% is unmanaged waste. But both those that are still sent and pile up in the final processing site, we call it TPA, the landfill, the last landfill, that are not managed properly, we call it open dumping, amounting to 12.37 million tons. And those that are discharged into environment, burned, and ended into water bodies, such as river, lakes, and even the sea, amounting to 22.17 million tons. In addition, how about the condition of the landfill? The landfill usually managed by municipalities or cities. The number, all of the TPA landfill in Indonesia is 343 TPA, using still open and using open dumping. And most of them are overloaded, so that they are very vulnerable to pollution and environmental damage. Ladies and gentlemen, honorable guests, as an effort to overcome various problems related to the triple planetary crisis, the role of the business world is very important. In fact, our ultimate goal is a paradigm shift from a linear economic pattern to circular economy. A circular economy is an economic system or model that aims to generate economic growth by maintaining that value of products, material, and resources in the economy for as long as possible, thereby minimizing for as long as possible the social and environmental damage caused by a linear economic approach. From a regulatory approach perspective, managing the environmental impact of every type of business and or activity is actually the obligation that mandates from Indonesian Constitution that states everyone has the right to live in physical and spiritual prosperity, to have a place to live, and to have a good and healthy environment, and has the right to receive health service. We can check it in Article 28H, paragraph 1 of the Constitution. In addition, in Constitution as well, Article 33 states that the national economy is organized based on economic democracy with the principle of togetherness, fair efficiency, sustainability, environmental insight independence, and maintaining a balance between progress and national economic unity. On the other hand, we see for ourselves that consumers are increasingly more environmentally conscious. They don't just buy product, they buy value. Today's young people choose to work for companies that have an environmental commitment. Investors now view ESG performance not as an additional requirement, but as the main requirement. So for industry, delaying transformation means taking a big risk, losing the market, losing talent, and even losing social legitimacy. Today, we meet in one spirit, bringing Indonesia industry up a class, not only in terms of technology and efficiency, but also in terms of ecological responsibility. The world is moving fast, and the new direction is very clear. Sustainability is no longer an added value. It is the foundation of business continuity. Ladies and gentlemen, thus companies that are pro-environment and move towards green industries have at least 4 main benefits, namely building a good reputation, minimizing social conflict, minimizing the risk and cost of litigation, and long-term cost saving. One of the important elements for the Indonesian Sustainability Recognition Forum 2025 is the awarding of a symbol of a recognition of industries that have led transformation through visionary and impactful environmental, social, and governance practices. For that, I congratulate to all industries that receive this recognition. Hopefully, this can provide an affirmation of the commitment, real practices of environmentally conscious industries in Indonesia. In addition, this award should be a driving force for other industries to pay more attention to environmental protection and management efforts and integrate it as an inseparable part of the production and all business processes. We must also remind the award recipients that they have now become a benchmark for how an industry carries out its business sustainability through good environmental impact management performance to achieve the industry's transformation towards an environmentally friendly and long-term oriented model. And the award recipients also must be able to maintain their good performance by always identifying, managing, and monitoring all environment and social impact carefully and well. We sincerely hope that the recipients of 2025 Indonesia Sustainable Recognition Forum can become local and global champions who can show all stakeholders, both in Indonesia and the global level, that Indonesia continues to strive to strengthen a resilient, responsible industrial ecosystem that is ready to face future environmental challenges. Ladies and gentlemen, it's very long. I will choose which one. I will talk about proper. So the presentation goes to proper. For almost 2 decades, the Indonesian government has implemented a performance award system in the field of environmental protection and management via the company performance rating assessment program in environmental management. We call it PROPER. PROPER is one of the policy instrument for incentive and or disincentive for reputation and awards developed by the Ministry of Environment to encourage company compliance with environmental regulation. In PROPER, an evaluation of the performance of those responsibility for business and or activities in the field of environmental management is carried out, and the result of this evaluation are conveyed to the public, so public disclosure, as part of increasing the public's roles in environmental protection and management. Indonesia is the first country to introduce PROPER since 1995, a highly respected policy innovation worldwide, with many countries copying the program scheme. The hallmark of PROPER is the disclosure of information through a 5-color code. So we have black for the worst, and then red, it's so-so, and then the blue is comply with the regulation, green and gold is the beyond compliance. Over the past years, PROPER participants have increased by 1,001% from 360 companies in 24 to 4,495 companies in 2024. For the same companies whose compliance level were assessed in 2023, 954 companies were non-compliant. Then in 2024, 134 companies or 35% increased their performance to comply. Furthermore, PROPER has also been used in decision making by the company as basis for to assess the performance of company management, and has become part of the Indonesian Green Taxonomy to be a guide for green economy or sustainable finance by OJK, Financial Services Authority. Currently, There are many uses of proper assessment result from the banking sector as part of the evaluation process for industrial financing application. This shows that issue of sustainability financing has also begun to ameliorate in Indonesia with proper as their primary measuring tool. Honorable guests, ladies and gentlemen, in 2024, it was recorded that 1762 eco-innovation were born by the company. The number of innovation also increased by 47% from the previous year of 1193 innovation. This year, eco-innovation was able to generate energy saving of 443.92 million GJ, a reduction in greenhouse gas emission, and also reduction of hazardous waste, and we use again the hazardous waste as the circular economy for this. Ladies and gentlemen, efforts to improve environmental management performance has also had a positive impact on the community. And if we talk about circular economy, so this effort of the companies also can be filled by the community in terms of financial topic or financial for income, their income. In essence, proper is expected to not only be a driver for the business world to improve in its environmental management performance, but also develop into a collaborative framework between the government, the business world, and the community to address environmental and social issues without abandoning the main essence of compliance. And finally, I believe that a good collaboration between the government, business world, society, universities, and various other community organizations can be the foundation and main force for improving the quality of the environment in order to realize the right of every person to have a good and healthy environment. Through various new and innovative instruments and methods, let us together protect and improve the Indonesian environment in order to realize a just and prosperous society towards the Golden Indonesia 2045 vision. Thank you very much. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you, Mrs. Rosa Vivian Ratnawati, and we respectfully request Mrs. Rosa to remain on stage for a group photo. And we cordially invite Mr. Henry Chia, President Director PT Endress+Hauser Indonesia, and Mr. Matthias Attendorf, President Supervisory Board Endress+Hauser Group, His Excellency Mr. Olivier Zender, Ambassador of Switzerland to Indonesia, Timor-Leste, and Asia, and Mr. Wahyu Daniel, CEO CNBC Indonesia, to kindly make their way to the stage for a group photo. Okay. Let's start for the first picture. 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. Okay, thank you so much. You may return to your seat. Thank you so much. Okay, next we invite His Excellency Olivier Zenner, the Ambassador of Switzerland to Indonesia, Timor-Leste and ASEAN, to deliver his welcoming speech. Please welcome His Excellency Olivier Zenner. The stage is yours.
Dear Ibu Rosa Vivienne, Executive Secretary, Ministry of Environment, dear Professor Enia Listiani Dewi, Director General of New Renewable Energy and Energy Conservation, Ministry of Energy and Mineral Resources, dear Mr. Matthias Altendorf, President Supervisory Board of Endress+Hauser, and of course, dear Henry Chow, President Director Endress+Hauser Indonesia and Chair of Swiss Jam Indonesia. Ladies and gentlemen, Salamat Pagi. It is a great pleasure to be part of the Sustainability Recognition Forum organized by Endress+Hauser today. This year's theme, Empowering Industry, Advancing Sustainability, highlights that by establishing the necessary framework conditions for industry to innovate and adopt sustainable practices, we drive economic growth, we ensure environmental protection, and we promote social well-being. Switzerland is committed to helping other countries move towards a greener future, especially in the fields where we have know-how. Last month, we organized the Indonesia-Switzerland Hydropower Conference together with Indonesian partners. The theme was Uniting Forces to Power a Sustainable Future. This powerful event provided an invaluable platform to exchange on challenges, share best practices, and explore partnerships in the hydropower sector. Just to remind you, 60% of our electricity production in Switzerland comes from hydropower. Switzerland has been, as you might know, ranking first in the Global Innovation Index for the last 14 consecutive years. And this result was achieved because both the public and the private sector put a priority on education, research, and development. Most notably, 2/3 of our research and development comes from the private sector. Dear guests, in 2022, Kadin Indonesia and Economie Suisse launched the Swiss-Indonesian Sustainable Council to enable cross-industry dialogue on sustainability projects in the private sector. This council will meet again in Indonesia this October. I applaud such platforms and commend industry leaders who integrate sustainability into their business model. Today's conference is an excellent example of leadership and responsibility. I warmly congratulate Endress+Hauser for this initiative, for promoting this initiative, and for walking the talk. Also, Endress+Hauser is one of the leading houses here in Indonesia promoting vocational training, and we all recognize the importance for a country to have the necessary talents for tomorrow. Ladies and gentlemen, allow me to further illustrate our joint efforts in Indonesia. Indeed, SDGs are at the heart of Switzerland's economic cooperation development programs since 2015. Recently, we launched at Bapenas the Indonesia-Switzerland Economic Cooperation and Development Program 25-28. In short, Switzerland's objective is to support the path of Indonesia towards a sustainable, resilient, and competitive economy. We focus on policies that promote prosperity, the development of competitive and inclusive human capital, and importantly, the promotion of sustainable infrastructure and resilient urban development. Swiss projects cover a wide range of initiatives in key sectors, from disaster risk reduction, green economic development, and sustainable finance to protecting ecosystems, strengthening water management, improving air quality, and promoting gender equality. To drive this transformation, green skills are needed. Switzerland is supporting renewable energy skills curricula to increase human capital in renewable energy in line with Indonesia's net zero target by 2060. And yesterday I was in Makassar and visited the Polytechnic Negeri Ujung Padang to witness this training of youth in these sectors. And what was quite interesting is that there's a majority of female students in renewable energy. These selected initiatives and many more that we are implementing hand in hand with different Indonesian partners in the public and private sector reflect our belief that sustainability must be woven into every aspect of economic, environmental, and social development. Before I close, allow me to once again congratulate our gracious hosts, Endress+Hauser, for the relevant and timely second edition of the Sustainability Recognition Forum. I look forward to the discussions and exchanges which will take place now. And as a conclusion, let us work together towards a greener, fairer, and prosperous future. I thank you for your attention.
Thank you, His Excellency Olivier Zenner, the Ambassador of Switzerland to Indonesia, Timor-Leste and ASEAN, for your insightful speech. And next, we will hear a keynote speech from Mr. Matthias Altendorf, President, Supervisory Board, Endress+Hauser Group. Please welcome Mr. Matthias Altendorf. The stage is yours.
Warm welcome, dear ladies and gentlemen, dear Ambassador Zender, warm welcome, Secretary of Ministry for Environment, Mrs. Rosa Vivian, thank you for being here. Dear customers, guests, ladies and gentlemen, honorable guests, and also all my colleagues from Endress+Hauser Indonesia, where are you? Okay, warm welcome, Henry. Thank you for being here, thank you for having me here, and I would like to share a little bit with you what a Swiss family business, we are a Swiss, Endress+Hauser is a Swiss family, owned by a Swiss family business, what we are doing, how we see the world when it comes to sustainability, and how we practice it. I was, 2 weeks ago, I was in the United States, and the subject of sustainability had become a different viewpoint since the newest administration. But then I discovered from a very young employee of Endress+Hauser, he said, Mr. Altendorf, you know, before many moons, she said, one of the Sioux chiefs said, we only have borrowed the planet from our children. And I think in this spirit, we have to think about sustainability, that we borrowed the earth, the planet, the resources we have from our children, and they borrowed it from their children. So we have to make sure that we sustain it in a good fashion. What does decarbonization really mean for us? I focus a little bit on the decarbonization because this is one of the key elements which drives climate change. How do we position ourselves to support this energy transition? Why do I believe this is very important? Because we have seen if the energy transition is not well managed, politically, sustainability is not a good option. And we have seen this in the heart of Europe due to the Russian-Ukrainian crisis, what we feared, energy prices spiked. and that changes completely the political landscape. So only if we manage the energy and transition in a way that energy remains affordable for the public and specifically for the poor people, it's a viable option. Otherwise, it creates too much social turmoil in any society. And I also share with you where all the opportunities for us. So this is the family, the Endress family. When they're all together, there are more than 80 people. The company has been established in 1953 in a city close to Basel, which is at the three-country corner where Switzerland meets Germany and France. So we are in the heart of Europe. We speak altogether one language, a German dialect together. So that's where we are, and that's where the family is from originally and established. So what does a family really mean? First of all, okay, we take care for each other, we are together. But one of the major differences, a family doesn't think in quarters. A family thinks in generation. So I have the privilege to serve this family for 39 years and thinking in generations. So by end of my career, I will have thought about 2 generations of this family. And I'm happy to do so. And thinking in generations means you have a long-term perspective and you're in for the long-term goal. We have brand values which are rooted in the family spirit, who we are. One thing is commitment to our customers, commitment to society wherever we live, and we are active directly in more than 125 countries on this planet. And wherever we are active, we have a commitment to the society, the obligations, to the rules. We strive for excellence. I always say Swissness means we have to be almost perfect, nice, charming, friendly, humble. And that's part of the excellence what we would like to display with our products, our people, our spirits, the way how we behave. Sustainability is one of our brand values. And when I talk about sustainability, priority number 1 for every enterprise is we are alive tomorrow, and we are alive next year, and we are alive in 10 years, and we are alive in 100 years. That means we always, priority number 1, we have to commercially be successful. If you are not commercially successful, you cannot be sustainable at all. This doesn't work. So priority number 1, commercially successful, and combining that, of course, with the environmental aspects, but most important, also with the social aspects. For us, it's very important that we educate the younger generation. We strive for that 5% of our employees are in education, our apprenticeships, our students, our internships, because we believe work gives dignity to people. And work gives income, and work allows any government to have taxes, and we want to pay tax. Therefore, we have to be commercially successful. That's part of sustainability too. And friendliness, as we are from Switzerland, we try to be kind to each other and kind to everywhere in the world where we are, and respect the laws and the procedures in every country. Let's focus on the sustainability part for the moment. Endress+Hauser is established in 1953. You can see here, this is our success story. One of the icons, the Matterhorn in Switzerland, is one of those mountains. We try to mimic with our sales turnover a little bit the steepness of this curve. I'm pretty sure it won't be forever, but for sure we have been very successful. It took us, from our 72 years, it took us 40 years to make the first billion. It took us the next 20 years to make the second billions, and it took us 10 years to make the next second 2 billions. So there is an exponential thing, and with this growth, of course, we also have grown in paying tax, giving jobs, but also try to increase our efforts into be remaining sustainable in all aspects at the end of the day. The majority of the money we reinvest. We reinvest in innovation, we reinvest in infrastructure, and reinvest in education of our people. We inaugurated 3 years ago our first building in Canada, which is 100% sustainable. That means doesn't need any energy from the outside to be run in Canada. And those of you who know Canada, it's not Indonesia. It's cold. They only have 2 seasons, July and winter. And still there we manage to be fully sustainable. It costs us roughly 15% more to make this building, but on a life cycle of 35 to 40 years, the building will be there. It will be sustainable fashion, and we did that for that. And that's the spirit what we have. We try to live up to what we promote. We are very technology-oriented, technology-driven, because we believe sustainability can only come through innovation and technology. What does decarbonization really mean for us, as an example, in the oil and gas industry? We should not forget oil and gas is a very important industry, not just from exploring the oil or the gas, but also from driving the cars, driving the airplanes, but also for medicine, for everything in our daily life. We need somehow oil and gas products. But if you really mean net zero, what does that really mean? And net zero means this. This does not exist anymore. Net zero means we do not explore any oil, any gas, and we do not burn it. But what do we do with our lives? We still want to run our cars, we still need transportation, we still need to fly. So we have to find other means how to create the chemicals which we need in order to do that, and the products in order to do that. But net zero at the end means we do not use fossil fuels out of the ground, which are millions of years old anymore. That's a tough consequence. And if we try to do that from one day to another, this will not work. This is a generational work which has to go for 2, 3 generations in order to come to that step. What does decarbonization really mean for the chemical business? Here you see how petrochemicals are used today. This is the whole value chain, and 24% of the world oil and gas resources is used in feedstock for the chemical industry. Chemical industry we need in our daily life, when we have soap, when we drive the car, when we sit on this chair, when we drink out of this glass, when we have coffee, we need them all over the world. When we really say net zero, no carbon emission anymore, this whole value chain is gone. And this has a consequence. How do you generate the feedstock for the chemical industry? And these questions need to be answered, because for sure it will not be done in a way that it's more expensive, because nobody, no individual is willing to give up his personal wealth on the expense of more sustainability. This is an illusion in an economy. This will not happen. So the only way to overcome that is by finding new ways and new measures through innovation and new technologies. The transition time to net zero, and our goal for Endress+Hauser is we aim for 2050 to be net zero. And our biggest carbon footprint is aluminum and stainless steel. That's the biggest 2 elements we have in carbon footprint. And what you see here is this will take a lot of efforts. But on the one graph you see we need hydrogen. Hydrogen is one of the core elements where we can create all the other chemicals we need to replace fossil fuels, whether it's coal, whether it's gas, natural gas, whether it's oil of different type of grades. But how to produce massive amounts of hydrogen in the quality and the volume, that's the key challenge what we have. We need water for that, that's the first thing, and we need energy for that. Energy we have in form of the solar, energy we have in form of the wind, and as the ambassador said, in form of the water and hydropower plants. We have enough around the world, it's just not evenly displayed around the world. So the only way to overcome that in the world is that the world collaborates. And that will only work together. It will not work that each country tries to solve this problem for themselves. It needs collaboration in order to do that. And We do not know how long the transition will take. We know the transition is needed. And our hypothesis is also oil and gas will be replaced by electrical power and hydrogen, but we don't know when. So for the time being, we have to support our oil and gas customers as good as we can, that they remain efficient and competitive. But we also have to support all those customers who are engaging in alternative energy sources too. When you come to the market dynamics and the progress to a cleaner industry, there are several scenarios people put up. You can say there's a rapid progress, there's a net zero, there's a business as usual. And whatever it means, we need more renewable energy. Indonesia is primed for new renewable energy. First of all, you have a lot of sun. Second, you have plants which grow very well in this sector of geographics. And we can reduce the amount of oil and replace it with renewable energy elements. And whatever we do in this effort to become better, it's a good thing. The timing is unknown, but the shift is something will happen, and we are betting on that alternative energies will take a place in the future. The megatrend for cleaner industries is the decarbonization. It will drive significant change for customers in all industries. A lot of young consumers, specifically in Europe, but I have seen it also in other parts of the world, they are very brand sensitive now to the carbon footprint of a product. And the reason for that is the younger generation normally has more money, more decisive information to make a judgment about something. They will decide based on those impacts. And they can afford it. The generations before us had at the same age less money available than the generation what we have right now. The transition will happen in a different speed and different impact. The global energy demand will most likely continue to grow, and the change in energy sources only happens after construction, after the capital investment. So the biggest improvement opportunity what we have is if we try to make those capitals invested today to make it more efficient and to reduce the waste of those infrastructure what we have. Fossil fuels will continue to be very significant around the world. There's no way out. We still need oil, we still need gas, and we try to produce them as sustainable as possible. However, renewables will take over. It's just a matter of time. McKinsey said $9.2 trillion will be invested, so we can see that. I'm not quite sure if this number is right, but you can see that a lot of our customers are investing in this area, and we try to support them in this ambition. When the decarbonization means energy transition, and we believe that hydrogen is one of the key carriers, then you can see that the landscape, what I showed you at the beginning, how the chemical or the oil and gas infrastructure looks like, will be transformed to the picture you can see here, which we call the hydrogen ecosystem. And you can see that the rich countries in Europe, they start to building the pipelines for hydrogen, where in the old days, the natural gas from Russia has been flowing. By the year 2030, 2035, it will be fueled by hydrogen, and we will have a larger hydrogen economy in Europe, where the chemical plants will use this hydrogen, and the government will give them the environment that it works quite well. Still, we need the chemical industry, still we need the power plants, still we need the power grid, still we need the households. This will remain the same, but the feedstock will be a different one. Wind, solar, water, nuclear will be used as energy sources. Hydrogen, batteries, salt, water will be used as storage capacity, and hydrogen and CO2 will serve as the new oil and gas for synthetic fuels. We still will have the same airplanes we fly today, but they will use a different fuel in order to be able to fly. So our big picture is the growth and transformation. The decarbonization is a huge opportunity for Endress+Hauser. We engage in it. We want to become the world leader in decarbonization along the value chain of our customers, whether it's food, chemical, pharmaceutical, oil and gas, mining, power, energy, and one-stop shop for application in the process automation, whether in the logistical chain, whether in the environmental chain. We try to support them, and we develop the best-in-class technologies and services along those value chain for our customers, and exploit, as Henry said at the beginning, digitalization to enable process improvements all along the value chain. That's our focus and where we believe in. All process industries are impacted, whether it's building materials, oil and gas, metal and steel, food and beverage, batteries, whatever. I just want to draw a little bit to the attention. Everybody has using the mobile phones, and everybody tries to improve a little bit by using artificial intelligence. If you make a Google search or you make a ChatGPT search, the energy consumption is a factor of 10 in difference. A ChatGPT search needs 10 times more energy than a Google search. So that means every year right now, 4% every year we have to increase the energy capacity on the world in order to fuel all the data centers. One data center, roughly 1 billion investment. Many data centers needed to fuel the digitalization of the e-commerce. So therefore we have to find new ways how to make this energy more sustainable. Otherwise, the digitalization eats up so much energy that is not good and not healthy for all of us. Our framework, the basis of our beliefs, is very simple. The world needs to move from fossil-based raw materials and energy towards renewable sources, and we help our customers by this. The transition impacts all process industries as they either require energy, food, water, wastewater, pharmaceuticals, mining, or feedstock, chemical energy, so we try to support them. The electrification and the need for more energy continue to grow. You can see the electrification in Central Europe, that it takes more and more place. I think by 2050, the electrical cars will have taken over, more or less. We have the electrified trains, so the whole transportation system, the heating systems and the cooling system in the houses will be electrified. So we need huge amount of electricity in order to replace fossil fuels. We do not know how much time this transition will take or fast it will progress, because we have to balance it with the social stability of any society. And all our customers will aim to reduce their energy and resource consumption. Cost and image are on the play. I think we can support there. Optimize the energy mix, the carbon footprint, reduce the carbon footprint. This doesn't come overnight, but over the next 25, 30 years, I think a lot of things can be happening. We have to lower the emissions, whether it's carbon dioxide, nitrogen oxides, sulfur oxides, dust, wastewater, to benefit the environment. We can do that too. And the energy storage mix will increasingly rely on hydrogen. We will have more batteries, and we have to convert solar energy, wind energy into hydrogen, store it, and use it when it's needed. And hydrogen and its derivatives will become key energy carrier for the future. We believe in that. And the natural gas will be an energy transition and storage carrier until we are there in the years to come. So there's plenty of opportunity for Indonesia as an economy to support this global transition in energy mix. Endress+Hauser, of course, commits itself also to sustainability as a company. And since many, many years, we let ourselves also certify by EcoVadis. Our customers demand that, and we try to do that. And we also aim to be good in what we are doing when it comes to sustainability. But we also engage as a company in what we call the water challenge. Any society needs fresh water, clean water, and needs energy in order to strive. And all our employees, since a couple of years, they team together, they run miles, they swim miles, they cycle miles, and they donate a certain amount of money, and Endress+Hauser doubles this amount around the world. And we always have projects somewhere in the world. We had 2 projects in Vietnam. Currently, we run one project in South Africa in order to provide rural communities with fresh and clean water. And The team spirit of our employees, together with our financial capabilities and our local teams, enables us to do that. So clear water for Africa is something we are focusing in 24 and 25. So people have clean water at the beginning and they don't have to spend a lot of time carrying water. We give them the water locally and therefore the kids can go to school because we believe education is one fundamental resource to become better as a society. We joined the scientific-based target initiative in 2023. We want to be net zero by 2050. And we have a sustainability report since 2014. We publish this every year. And we are on the gold level when it comes to EcoVadis audits. And at the end, I hope I could give you a little bit of an insight what Endress+Hauser is doing. I'm more than happy to answer questions later on and to see you. And I hope everybody can see sustainability is for the better life for all human beings on this planet. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Matthias Attendorf, President Supervisory Board Endress+Hauser Group, for the keynote speech. And next, we will hear a keynote speech from Mrs. Enia Listiani Dewi, Director General of New Renewable Energy and Energy Conservation, Ministry of Energy and Mineral Resources, Republic of Indonesia. Please welcome Mrs. Enia Listiani Dewi. The stage is yours.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Happy good morning for all. Thank you so much that committee inviting me to be here and delivering to you about the renewable energy situation and about the reduction emission action plan that we must do in this year and in the next 5 years or even we goes to the next 10 years. So yang saya hormati Bu Vivi, sahabat saya, Secretary Minister of the Environment, and all of the distinguished guests here from Minister and all of the industry, Bu. So, regarding to our commitment, our minister still on the track that Ministry of Energy and Mineral Resources, now even there is kind of situation in the global side, global case, but Indonesia still have a really commitment to reduce our emission regarding to the direction of Ministry of Environment that asking and give us a huge task to reduce our emission. And regarding to the situation of the energy transition right now in Indonesia, our president have a mandatory to our Ministry of Energy and Mineral Resources to do the acceleration of downstreaming and national energy resilience. So our president make a presidential degree #1 this year, that showing our national commitment still goes on the track. What we promised to the international is how we can achieve our net zero goals in 2060. And of course, the energy resilience should match all of the things that contribute to the resilience index. We have 4 parameters at here: the availability of the energy, the accessibility, the affordability, and also the acceptability, which Indonesia still have a good position. If we count it from 10, we are in the position of 6.64, which is need to be more resilient So we want to catch up these issues in our strategy. And of course, the lowest number here is about the acceptability. So, of course, the accessibility is still our challenging, but the acceptability of the environmental awareness and also the acceptability of renewable energy, especially in the remote area in many islands in Indonesia, still have a challenge. So, if you listening to the media right now, this situation is really have a challenge to put the renewable energy in the special remote system. Regarding to the geothermal issues, there is many social issues in the sum of location in Indonesia, and we must have a task to educate the people about the renewable itself. And the last thing that I heard is about the floating solar. The floating solar is also have some issues on the acceptability in local people. So that's our challenge right now, to increase our renewable in terms of the emission reduction that we must do. So our national commitment to reduce emission is still following the international commitment. Since you know from the COP29, we must tripling our renewable energy and doubling the energy efficiency. What we do after the COP is we addressing the new national electricity planning, which will publish soon by our minister, and now still counted to be last finalizing analysis about the RUPTL. So on those national electricity planning, we are already addressed tripling the renewable energy. And then in these issues, especially for energy efficiency, this is still kind of effort that we must do in the next years. But in this year, just months ago, we publishing new regulation about the mandatory of the energy management system. So our commitment to reduce the emission and to tripling the energy efficiency with the renewable energy program, we can reduce 51% of GHG emission. And by doing the energy efficiency, we can reduce more than 37%. So this is what we call now to the industry. We are proposing all of the stakeholders here, and that we must following the commitment. And our target in 2030 is a really big one. 358 million tons of CO2 it should be reduced. So it is really huge task for Ministry of Environment that we must achieve this one. And you know, the achievement of the emission reduction is going up. So we want to grow more significant. And hopefully all of the stakeholders here can be our partner, and we can make some real action to make a real reduction of the emission. So next, with the roadmap of net zero, in previous speaker also mentioning about the new concept of free carbon energy, we do agree with the free carbon energy. We addressing the hydrogen, we addressing the ammonia, we addressing the nuclear project and nuclear contribution in our grid, in our nation. So if we're talking about the, in this year, in this picture is from 2022, but we know that we are still increase the GHG emission, but in the next 5 years, until 2030, it would be a peak one, and this 5 years would be a very important period that we must make sure our action is making the emission until a start from 2030 is declining. So we addressing all of the things that we have in Indonesia. You know, Indonesia have from coal, we have a gas, and we have all of the type of renewable. So you can mention it. And what we put now in our strategy is how to make those, all of the things be together, and we can manage in our commitment to reduce the emission. And of course, we are now doing the biodiesel program, 40% of biodiesel program, and will increase more in the next year. We'll still our, we will go on the optimist target. And of course, we are also addressing the much more uses of electric vehicle. And then, of course, in the transportation sector, not only in the road, but in the maritime and also in the aviation, we are now calculated how we can make a mandatory of 3% of bioafter. But we still counted about those program. And we are also have putting the nuclear power here to be on the grid. And also the biggest one is how we can put the hydrogen and ammonia contribution to goes to the free carbon energy. So getting to the, what is the sector of the very emitted sector is the industry. So I want to addressing the sector decarbonization strategy in the industrial sector. We have a very big challenge at here because the peak is really huge. The industry is still going, need to be up, need to be growth, still need growing to, we know that our president have a target of 8% of economic growth. So the industry need more cheaper energy. That's why the peak emission is still goes to the 2037. Until 2037, then goes down, which is, this is a huge challenge in the industrial sector. So we need be together to put more renewable and doubling the energy efficiency. And what in the regulation sector, we have a regulatory framework, how we can manage the energy conservation. In the task force of downstreaming and the energy resilience group, we are also addressing about the management of the energy conservation. We just published the ministerial regulation that all of the government building, all of the local government building, center government building, all of the industrial building, including this hotel, we must do the energy efficiency. This is mandatory. And it's need to be known to all of the manager at here. So all of the commitment, all of the concerning about the energy management is already published. And we must addressing the energy provider sector, the energy management, and also, of course, we need the funding to do the energy management. And from the user sector, the energy resources, we must improve our awareness about the energy efficiency. And then the energy uses, there is some kind of partnership that we must create because all of the things to do the energy management system, it's really not really challenging. I think you know about the energy efficiency. All of the industry know about this, but we must have more effort to do and make a real commitment to follow the ministerial regulation, not only government regulation, but detail on the ministerial regulation number 3 and number 8. It's already mentioned about those concept. about the energy efficiency. So we must make sure our effort to be doubling the energy efficiency. And about the threshold of the mandatory energy management, in the previous government regulation, we are only addressing about the 4,000 TOE, but the next one we have mandatory, it's much more lower, so we can get more emission reduction from all of the sectors. So we can see that regarding to the mandatory of the building sector and also the industrial sector, we have more than 49 buildings that now should be matched with our ministerial regulation, so we can reduce more than 16,000 ton CO2 per year if we start with our 49 building, including the commercial building and 18 government buildings. So we want more. We want more government building and we want more commercial building to do this energy management mandatory in your system. So we can match in our commitment to reduce the emission regarding to the target from Ministry of Environment. And of course, the other one, we want to make sure that industry will support our commitment by, ESG implementation has already happened in the industrial sector. You are doing so much in the concept of how we can make an efficiency and saving of the industry. And of course, you are also making some movement to put the solar in your factory, in your industry, and we are really appreciated. And of course, we talked to the PLN that solar rooftop should be at more quota in this year and would be in the next year. And of course, from the Ministry of Industry, there is a renewable, some kind of green industrial certificate. And another one that we can address here is just how we can put the ESG performance to make a good report and then link to the Ministry of Energy so we can report the actual emission reduction to the government. I think what I can mention about the industry is here, and we want more stakeholder to use more green electricity, more green commitment, and we are also matched with our target of national electricity generation roadmap. So this is just also published by our government. What we can address here is there is so much target in renewable energy implementation in the all of the electricity generation. We are addressing all of the renewable to be in the part of our target. So if we can see, until net zero, we will have 70 until 72% of renewable. So now we still have at 2025, I can report to you that our energy mix, our renewable energy in our energy mix is still 15%. So we must do so much investment. We want to collaborate with the international to achieve our goal. Our goal is 70% in the 2060. And what we can address here until next 5 years, which is the important year, at here we will add a really big target of the renewable. We are already mentioning all of the renewable target, including ocean. Solar is huge one, wind also huge, and hydro, And of course, we are addressing more on the geothermal. We want to use all of the potential of the geothermal on our grid. So this is our commitment, because the hydro and geothermal is base load, and we can replace fossil with those two kind of renewable. Another renewable is intermittent one, so we must manage with the storage. So all of the our target here, in the next 5 years, we will also add more energy storage, including pump storage. Not only a battery as a storage, but a pump storage, hydro pump storage, hydro pump storage. We put more than 5 gigawatt in the next 5 years. So now PLN have one construction in Upper Cisokan that is start making the hydro pump storage. And of course, regarding to the uses of the low carbon, we mentioning about the gas as a low carbon energy. So we want to use more gas in the grid. And also another one, we will put more on the solar and hydro, and also aggressively we want more in the wind energy. And what is the new one at here? This is the first time that government mentioned about the free carbon energy. So the government mentioned about the hydrogen, ammonia, and also the nuclear on the grid. So it would be the first time that next one, we are preparing now the regulation, and we are preparing, talking to many countries about our planning of 500 megawatt of nuclear power plant. And in the next one, we are also put in the next new ROPTL is nuclear on the grid. And about the hydrogen and ammonia for a free carbon, we put 100% uses in power generation is start from 2045 and 2051. It looks like so far, but it's mentioning 100% in the power generation. So it should be prepared from right now. That's why in the next one, we are already have strategic planning to make all of the things done. So in the solar development, we have a program of rooftop, large scale, and also floating PV. We invite more on the floating PV right now. We collaborate with Ministry of Public Affairs that they have so much potential. All of the dam now, can be used as a surface to put the solar floating at there. So we can add more, 14 gigawatt and the solar as a floating one. So there is many target of floating VP. So I think we must also make some kind of pushing to the industry that making the solar industry much more aggressive in Indonesia. And of course, wind energy and hydro potential also addressing to be a target, including the hydro pump storage. And as you know, wind energy potential is a big one, but we just only have 2 locations of wind energy in Sidrap in South Sulawesi, and Sidrap and Jeneponto. So we want add more. And there is a big potential on the South Sulawesi as well as the Kalimantan, South Kalimantan. Next one, please. So regarding to the our program, many program of bioenergy, we can address the biodiesel, bioethanol, bioafter, and green gasoline, which is now on the discussion. The biodiesel is already a big one. And then the bioethanol, we now have plenty of the commitment, and several of industry now start to make the bioethanol. We have 13 industry that make bioethanol as a fuel, so we want to increase more. And regarding to the free carbon strategy, we have national strategy of hydrogen that just published last 2 weeks. We have a national roadmap of hydrogen and ammonia. Next, please. This one, we are addressing 215 action plan from the industry that committed to us to do some kind of initiation, some kind of initial project in the topic of hydrogen and ammonia. So you can access this freely in our website. And there is an action plan that already described in this document. So please access in our ESDM website. The last thing that I want to address you is the updated of the new regulation in 2025. As I mentioned before, we already have a ministerial regulation about the energy management. And another thing is the biofuel or bioenergy regulation. Now, all of the permission, it would be one permission. If you want to establish the biofuel industry from the feedstock, from the production, from the delivery, and goes to the user, just only one permission, perizinan apa? Permit, yeah, sorry, sorry. Permit, just only one permit to Ministry of Energy. And I think it would be addressing also the all of the process in bioenergy. You can just follow the online system, and I think this is really easy to get the permit. And the other things that I want to mention you about the newest regulation. This is our commitment of ministerial regulation. We have just launched the roadmap of energy transition for electricity sector, which is the, maybe everybody want to know about the no, go back please. Yeah, early retirement of power plant. This is our commitment also to the international sector, that we are now have a roadmap to do the energy transition. We still want a big biomass and co-firing. We do de-dieselization and gasification in our plant. That's why I mentioned the gas, natural gas is really need to be in the grid. And also how we can manage the retrofitting of the power plant. And of course, we have already moratorium of the coal power plant, but in special requirement needs to be integrated in strategic industry is still allowed. But I think the industry itself will do 35%. It should make a reduction emission of the 35% and operate it maximum until 2050. This is our presidential regulation. So it's still on the track. And then renewable energy development, of course, and then we addressing the new one of free carbon technology is hydrogen, ammonia, and nuclear. And why we are now still delaying about our renewable energy in our island? Because there is no so much investment on transmission. So in the next 5 years, in the next 10 years of RPTL, it would be addressing more on the transmission and smart grid. And the last thing that we can do is, if there is a finance, if there is some criteria of this 10 criteria, we can do the early retirement. Will be not yet a decision, but we are already have a roadmap, and this is the option, just only option if there is a finance to, there is a funding to do that. So this all that I want to share to you. So thank you so much. You can check our ministerial regulation and checking out of the timeline and in those energy transition roadmap. So all of our commitment is how to be a part of ESG, and then the collaboration and participation of all of stakeholders is really need to develop. and we are ready to making the ecosystem a good ecosystem to reduce our emission. Thank you so much for the time. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you, Ms. Enia. And sorry, Ms. Enia, to remain on stage as we will now present a token of appreciation. And we respectfully invite Mr. Henry Chia, President Director PT Endress+Hauser Indonesia, to come forward to the stage to present the token of appreciation for Mrs. Enia Lisiani Dewi. And we also cordially invite Mr. Matthias Altendorf, President Supervisory Board, Endress+Hauser Group, and Mr. Wahyu Daniel, CEO CNBC Indonesia, to join us on stage for a group photo session. Okay, let's begin. 3, 2, 1. Okay, next. 3, 2, 1. Okay, thank you. And you may return to your seat. Thank you. And next we will hear a keynote speech from Mr. Budiono Mulyono, CEO Downstream PT Smart Tbk. Please welcome Mr. Budiono Mulyono. The stage is yours.
Baik, selamat pagi Bapak-Bapak, Ibu-Ibu semuanya. Good morning ladies and gentlemen. Yang terhormat Ibu Rosa Vivian, yang terhormat Ibu Enia Listiani Dewi, His Excellency Olivia Sander, and Mr. Matthias Altendorf, and Bapak Henry Chia. And the other distinguished and honorable guests, the sustainability champions. Thank you. First of all, I would like to thank you for having us here. Thank you to Endress+Hauser for inviting us as one of the keynote speaker. And we are very privileged to be here to share our materials. Actually, about a few weeks ago, Pak Henry called me and to ask me to become the speaker in this forum. I say yes, but actually I'm not sure what topics that I will share. But after discussion with my team, our sustainability team, we decided that we will share our company's journey, starting from the beginning, on the sustainability, starting from the beginning until now, and what will be our plan and target for the future. So here we go. Can we start from the first page, please? Sorry. Something wrong with the file that we sent to the Endress+Hauser, I think. Okay, so next. Oh, by the way, let me introduce myself. My name is Budiono Mulyono. I'm the CEO of the Downstream Indonesia of the Sinarmas Agri Business and Foods, which in Indonesia we are known by PT Smart Tbk. Yeah. Okay. So, introduction to our company. We are Sinarmas Agribusiness and Food. We are the leading seed-to-self agribusiness. We grow our...
For the future, you can just use this one.
Oh, okay, sorry. We grow our oil palm with farmers to produce foods for fuel, to produce palm oil for food and fuels for today and for the future. We are practically an integrated palm oil industry. We have our upstreams and we have our downstreams. And internationally, we are known as Golden Agri Resources. And we manage our end-to-end productions using sustainable practices. For an overview, we are managing more than 500,000 hectares of palm oil estates, including our plasma, and also we have set aside around 80,000 hectares of conservation land, high carbon value and high carbon value, the high carbon value land. And then we together working with our smallholders, we have achieved 99% of traceable to plantations by 2024, and we have achieved, even starting few years back, we have achieved traceability to mill 100%. And we are the member of RSPO starting 2005. We are the member of RSPO starting 2005, and we already have GSEP. What we call it GSEP is a Golden Agri Resources Social and Environmental Policy, which is our roadmap towards sustainability. From our palm oil plantations, which to be exact, 536,000 hectares, we produce around 2.7 million tons of products, palm products, and but our downstream, we manage more than 8 million of products because we also source our raw material from the third party, from external. And we also export and sell our product to more than 110 countries. And we sell to our key customers, key accounts, and also we have our own brand. We have more than 30 own brands that we sell globally. Our presence are in the 14 countries. 14 countries, mainly manufacturing facilities, logistics centers, and sales offices. And we employ more than 100,000 personnel. Our presence are, if you can see, mainly in Indonesia, Malaysia, Singapore, India, Pakistan, and China, Middle East, Europe, and North America and South America. Now, this is our journey. Starting 3 decades ago, in 1997 to be exact, we were already starting to embark our sustainability journey. We became the first company that launched a zero burning policy, and then in 2015. In 2005, we joined the RSPO. And in 2015, we roll out the updated GSEP, which is, like I said, our roadmap to sustainability. And to highlight it, in 2022, we are one of the signatories of the roadmap, agri-sector roadmap to 1.5 degrees Celsius, which is during the COP27 in Egypt. We know that the landscape of sustainability keeps on evolving. The government, the regulatory, the customers' requirements are also keep developing. So that's why we have to keep on improving, adjusting, and developing our approach. And the last thing that we do is that we already set up new divisions starting last year, 2024, called Carbon and Renewables. And these divisions is to focus in executing our key strategic initiative on sustainability. So the first is to drive the impactful decarbonizations in all of our operations, end-to-end operations. And the second is to unlock new streams of opportunity. Because we believe in Sinarmas, we believe that we can do well and do good. Actually, this has been mentioned by several of the presentations that I heard. Even the topic of today's forum, which is empowering industry, which is we are trying to do well while advancing sustainability. At the same time, we want to do good. So doing well and doing good it's not a trade-off. In Sinarmas, we believe that it has to go hand in hand. Yeah. For the strategic initiative number 1, we already set up our baseline. We use the greenhouse gas protocol, GHG protocol, and then we calculate our carbon emissions using the SBTI, SBTI approach, where practically we categorize our carbon emission into 2 categories. The first is flag, and the second is non-flag. Flag is the abbreviations of forestry, land usage, and agriculture, which is mainly our upstream. While the non-flag is all the industry subsequent from the plantations. So upstream focus on the flag, and mill, starting from the mill up to our industry, we focus on the non-flag. And later, the flag and non-flag, we divide it into scope 1, scope 2, and scope 3. Practically, it's already depicted. I don't need to explain what is scope 1 and scope 2 and scope 3. I believe everyone here knows. So we also have our own target. We, of course, aligning with the Indonesian's NDC target, like Ibu Enia just mentioned just now. But so in our target itself, we want to achieve, this is an ambitious target by our company because we believe on sustainability. We want to achieve a net zero target by 2050. But our 2030 target, we targeted to reduce 42% non-flag and 30% flag. But we believe that we know that for this, we need to have a strong foundation of trusted data. Because we need to be accountable of the data that we claim. So we already finished calculating the emission number, the scope 1 and scope 2 in our operation, and we are in progress on the scope 3. And then we already have a clear path to achieve the 2030 target on scope 1 and scope 2. And we also use the scope 3, for the scope 3 we use technology. We have developed what we call it smart trace, trying to understand and address the scope 3 emissions in our supply chain. And for the strategic initiative 2, we explore 4 areas. We want to use the nature-based solutions. biomass, as we want to utilize as much renewables as possible. And because we are rich of biomass, we focus on the biomass. We have shells, we have all the biomass in our operation. We also look into biochar as the carbon storage solutions. And also we utilize our methane gas in our mills for renewable energy and bio. So, this is actually our my main page. My main page. This is the downstream operations page. We have finished, like I said, we have finished calculating our baseline carbon emissions, scope 1 and scope 2. We are about 800,000 tons of CO2 equivalent. And ever since we know that this is going to be very important, we intensify our energy efficiency programs. And we follow the regulation of the government during that time, that every company have to have the energy management team in the plant. And for that also, we use the approach of ISO 50001. So we have 6 units, 3 already certified ISO 50001, 3 units are coming, and 2 will within this year, and 1 will be early next year. So by early next year, all of our downstream unit will all be certified ISO 50001. Baseline, but also we have to do well. We have to expand. We have a business plan also. So we also calculate how much our expansion plan will increase our carbon emissions. So we expand based on volumes, we expand based on the value additions of our products. And on the expansion plan, we select the technology, the process that will minimize the increment of our carbon emissions. And in one of our projects, we invest in biomass boiler, which previously we used we use coal, but now we do not want to use coal anymore. And that is on the expansion plan. We already list all of our energy efficiency initiative and our improvement initiative, and we already calculate that we will have 360,000 tons of CO2 reduction on these projects. So if you can see, we start from around 800,000 tons of carbon emission, and in 2030, we targeted 43% reduction. With this chart, we see that actually we can achieve the targets. And then what we do is that we have a monthly meeting to monitor the progress of all these projects. And also, as you can see, we also have done the carbon footprint calculation for our product. So we work with Carbon Trust, which is the accredited bodies for this. So in 2 of our plants, we already have the product carbon footprints audited by Carbon Trust. So, like I said just now, that in the scope 1, we also for the renewable energy initiative, we also develop our in the palm oil industry, we have what we call it PK mill. So we pelletize PK mill, and then we plan also to use it as a biomass for our boilers. We modify our coal boiler so that our coal boiler also can burn biomass. And then we also do the circular economy approach, recycle and utilize our waste, our organic waste. On the energy conservation and efficiency, we also use technology to reduce the carbon emission in our operations. And for scope 2, we have installed solar panel, and then we also have already energy audit. We reduce the energy loss in our distribution, and some of our unit we bought REC already from PLN, renewable energy certificates from PLN. So this is my last slide. We know that we cannot do it alone. We need partners for our sustainability initiative, and we have partnership on 3 initiatives in 3 programs. The number 1 is the pit rehabilitations. We work with Nestle, Pepsi Cola, and PAA. Basically what we did was we rehabilitated the pitland, the carbon-rich area, inside our concession first, 4,000 hectares that we rehabilitate in Jambi and West Kalimantan. But next, we also will rehabilitate the outside concession, outside of our concession. And for the initiative number 2, we also have what we call it Sawit Terampil program. Sawit Terampil program where we develop our smallholders to map their land and support the legality of the land, because in EUDR it is required. And we also build the capacity. We do the capacity building for those smallholders, and we support the ISPO and RSPO certification for their plantations. And we targeted that we will reach 100,000 farmers by 2035. Our last program is also the child care program together with the ADM. I think before I finish my presentations, I would like to express that to achieve our long-term goal, and it will require a steady commitment, ongoing innovation, and collaboration. So we want to continue this journey, but we also looking forward to connecting with you all, with others that who shares our similar goals and visions and values. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Budiono Mulyono, CEO Downstream PT Smart Tbk, for the keynote speech, and we kindly ask Mr. Budiono to remain on stage as we will now present a token of appreciation. And we respectfully invite Mr. Matthias Altendorf, President Supervisory Board, Endress+Hauser Group, to come forward to the stage to present the token of appreciation. And we also cordially invite Mr. Henry Cha, President Director PT Endress+Hauser Indonesia, and Mr. Wahyu Daniel, CEO CNBC Indonesia, to join us on stage for a group photo session. Okay, let me count. Okay, 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. Thank you. You may return to your seat. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, colleagues and partners, it is both an honor and a privilege to stand before you in this pleasure time as we recognize the extraordinary efforts of companies that have demonstrated not only a deep commitment to sustainability, but also a powerful vision for a more equitable, resilient, and environmentally responsible future. Today's ceremony is more than just an occasion to hand over trophies or confer accolades. It is a moment to reflect on how far we've come and, more important, where we are heading as a global community. As sustainability continues to evolve from a peripheral consideration into core business imperative, we are beginning to see remarkable innovation emerge, not only in advanced technology and operation, but also in community outreach, education, agriculture, resource management, and beyond. This year, we are proud to announce 22 recipients of the Endress+Hauser Customer Recognition Sustainability Award 2025. These 22 companies come from different sectors, ranging from the chemical and food industries to energy, agriculture, pharmaceutical, and water management. Each organization we recognize today has set an inspiring example of what it means to integrate sustainability into the very fabric of corporate strategy and culture. In this session, we are proud to announce the 12 selected recipient of the award. And without further ado, the Customer Recognition for Sustainable Award is presented to Amrita Enviro Energy, Brine Water Recovery. PT Amrita Enviro Energy recycle brine from reverse osmosis to reduce raw water use and support a zero liquid discharge, helping minimize environmental waste and enhance sustainability. And please come to the stage. Next awards goes to Bayer Indonesia, driving Indonesia's clean energy transition. Bayer installed 2,054 kilowatt rooftop solar system in Cimanggis to support its 100% renewable energy group by 2030, saving around 42,700 euro annually and cutting CO2 emissions by 42% by 2029. And next awards goes to PT Chandra Asri Pacific Tbk, Paralysis Plastic Waste Management Solution for Remote Area. Chandra Asri converts plastic waste into fuel using pyrolysis in coastal area, significantly reducing local plastic waste while providing alternative energy sources. Next, Clarion Indonesia, empowering sustainable manufacturing through resources-efficient reactor cleaning. Clarion's precision purge uses high-pressure water jets for safer, more efficient reactor cleaning, saving 200 to 300 meter cubic of water and 3,500 kilowatt-hour monthly. And next, Danone Indonesia, water access sanitation hygiene. Since 2013, Danone Wash program has provided clean water access to over 573,000 people in 43 regions, combining infrastructure development with education and community training. And next, ESA Industries Indonesia, implementation total LED outdoor lighting in BAP. ESA replaced halogen lamps with LEDs at its Banggai ammonia plant, saving energy and reducing emissions through $0.5 million investment in long-lasting, low-maintenance lighting. Next, PT Indah Kiat Pulp and Paper Corp Tbk, Bank Sampah Digital, Digital Waste for a Greener Tomorrow. Launched in 2020, the Digital Waste Bank apps helps over 4,700 users recycle 120 tons of waste annually, integrating tech with community empowerment and circular economy goals. And next, PT Indeso Aroma, Imagina Retail. This bioadditive improves fuel efficiency and reduces emissions in motorcycles, targeting urban consumer to promote cleaner transportation and energy awareness. Next, PT Indolacto Indofood CPP, integrated water cycle management, optimizing source to process in dairy factories. Indolacto optimizes water use across dairy plants via automated wells, rain harvesting, and efficient cleaning system to reduce groundwater use and energy consumptions. Next, PT Nestle Indonesia, creating awareness on the importance of waste management from early stage. Nestle partners with schools to raise early awareness on waste through recycling programs, producing 5,000 benches and training teachers and students in sustainable habits. PT Nestle Indonesia, empowering Indonesian coffee farmers through sustainable practices. Nestle support over 2,000 Lampung coffee farmers with training in regenerative agriculture, improving soil health and reducing chemical fertilizer dependency. And next, Protect and Gamble, Corporation Indonesia, driving circular economy through upstream and downstream waste production and recycling. PNG maintains zero landfill waste through upstream and downstream recycling, reducing plastic use by 25% and advancing circular economy goals across its Jakarta operations. And it is our great honor to invite Mr. Henry Chia to come to the stage to present the award. Congratulations to all recipients of the Customer Recognition for Sustainability Award 2025. Let's give a big applause. Okay, now we also cordially invite Mr. Matthias Attendorf, President Supervisory Board, Endress+Hauser Group, and Mr. Wahyu Daniel, CEO CNBC Indonesia, to join us on stage for a photo session. Let me count. Okay, 3. Okay. 3, 2, 1. One more time. Okay. 3, 2, 1. Thank you, Mr. Henry Chia, Mr. Matthias Attendorf, Mr. Wahyu Daniel, and congratulations to all recipients of the Customer Recognition for Sustainability Award 2025. You may now return to your seats. Ladies and gentlemen, amid a global shift that increasingly places sustainability at the forefront of economic growth, the world is now transitioning toward a new paradigm. It is no longer about pursuing short-term gains, but about striking a balance between economic advancement, environmental preservation, and social well-being. In this context, the transformation of industries toward a greener, more inclusive, and sustainable model is no longer an option. it is a necessity. These present both a challenge and tremendous opportunity for all economic stakeholders, including governments, the private sector, and the society at large. Indonesia, as one of the largest economic forces in Southeast Asia, plays a strategic role in this transition. With its rich natural resources, large population, and geographically strategic location, Indonesia holds enormous potential to lead the global movement toward a sustainable future. But realizing this vision demands strong collaboration across all sectors through forward-thinking policies, technological innovation, and genuine commitment from the business community. We are presented with a golden opportunity to demonstrate that economic growth and sustainability can go hand in hand and even reinforce one another. To fully unlock this potential, it is imperative that we invest in human capital, empowering our workforce with skills, knowledge, and mindset required to thrive in sustainable economy. Education, training, and capacity building must be aligned with the demands of green industry and innovative technologies. By nurturing a generation of future-ready talents, Indonesia can not only accelerate its transition, but also position itself as a regional hub for sustainable development and climate solution. Moreover, collective action is essential to overcome systemic barrier to sustainability. This includes transparent governance, fair incentives, access to financing, and the adoption of circular economy principle across a value chain. Business that dare to lead by embedding environmental and social principles into their core strategies will be the one that not endure endure but flourish in the new economic order. Thus, let us embrace this moment, not just as a call to action, but as an invitation to co-create a shared future, one where sustainability is not a burden, but a driver of innovation, competitiveness, and resilience. Together, through partnership, integrity, and courage leadership, we can provide that growth and green values are not mutually exclusive, but mutually reinforcing. And we have heard numerous commitments, statements, and declarations on sustainability, yet the more pressing and important question remains, how is sustainability truly implemented in day-to-day business operations? And how can companies embed sustainability into their core strategies, not merely to comply with regulation, but to unlock measurable long-term value and generate meaningful impact? To explore this further, we now move into our panel discussion, theme from compliance to competitive edge, redefining sustainability as a business strategy. This session will be moderated by Safrina Nasution. Please welcome her to the stage, Safrina Nasution.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Safrina Nasution. I am an economic journalist from CNBC Indonesia. A pleasure to meet you all, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Endress+Hauser Indonesia Sustainability Recognition Forum 2025. Let's give a round of applause for this wonderful event. Today we are diving into this timely topic from compliance to competitive edge, redefining sustainability as the business strategy. Our goal is to explore how sustainability is evolving, no longer just a regulatory checkbox, but a powerful competitive tool for companies to thrive. So without further ado, let's give a round of applause for President Director, Endress+Hauser Indonesia, Mr. Henry Chia. And please welcome Vice President Division Head of Sustainability from MindID, Mr. Binahidra Logiardi. And we would also like to welcome President Director Bueller Indonesia, Mr. Philip de Meyer. Let's give an applause for Mr. Philip. And we would also like to welcome Head of Public Affairs and Sustainability from Danone Indonesia, Mrs. Rati Hanggraini. Please welcome Ms. Rati. And last but not least, Vice President Sustainability Program, Rating and Engagement from PT Pertamina Persero, Ibu Indira Prataksya. Let's give an applause for Mrs. Indira. Thank you so much, Bapak dan Ibu, for joining here in CNBC Indonesia. Mr. Binahidra will be joining us after this, but first, let me start with you, Bapak Henry. This is Sustainability Forum. In your experience, how has sustainability shifted from being a compliance issue only to a competitive edge in the industrial automation center, and how do you implement it in Endress+Hauser Indonesia?
Thank you, Sabrina. Thank you so much for the very principal question, essential question. Based on my observation, sustainability is starting to shift now from the compliance into a platform for innovation, efficiency, and also to move forward into more competitive advantage. And this is also get accelerated with the digitalization, with the increase of the expectation from the customer, from the young generation, from investor, and also from society. And this is not just keeping up. You have the sustainability, I also need to have the sustainability, but it's really about pushing forward to take this opportunity as a business transformation. So we saw, especially in the progressive industry, so this shifting is a very visible, as the investing not only have a set of very bold target of the sustainability, but it also investing into the technology, into the data, particularly into the mindset, how sustainability can become the competitive advantage. For the traditional heavy industry, which is historically emits more carbon emission, then the picture might be a little bit mixed. It could be because of the transition of the upfront cost, because at the beginning, this type of the industry do not have the mindset when they build that the factory. So then sometimes they are still contrasting between sustainability and the economic value of that. I think smart technology as our company, basically we can have a lot. Sustainability doesn't need to go in the full brown, but you can take it at a step by step. And I think starting by energy efficiency technically is one practical way how to move that transition.
Well, wonderful, wonderful answer. Thank you so much for that. Let's give our applause for Mr. Henry Chia for a wonderful explanation on sustainability. Please welcome Bapak Binahidra from MindID. Pak Binahidra, please joining us in this event. So Mr. Binahidra from MindID is joining us. So moving on to the next question, Sir Bapak Binahidra, as you are now joining us, it's very interesting if I would want to ask a sustainability issue to MindID, a holding of mining in state-owned enterprises in Indonesia. Because mining is often seen as a hard-to-abate sector. How does your company shifting the narrative by redefining sustainability as a strategic differentiator? And how does the concept of sustainability truly mean within the context of Indonesia's mining industry?
Well, first of all, thank you for having me to join the panel. Back to your question. This is something that we heard quite often. UN Environmental Program actually classified mining as one of the sectors that hard to abate because of mainly a dependency on the fossil fuel, the complex emission, especially on the process in the smelting. And the second one is about the need for the major infrastructure development or transformation. So social and environmental footprint is there. For us in Mine ID is a part of the mandate that given by the government to tackle this issue, to make a turnaround. And guided by our noble purpose, we explore for natural resources, for civilization and a brighter future. We put the sustainability pathway, our guidance for the sustainability initiative within the group, as an effort to shift the narrative, to tackle the stigma. And in one of the pillars of our sustainability pathway is environment and climate change. We put a lot of effort across the group, especially in the decarbonization. For example, in PTBA, our coal mining activities in South Sumatra, our colleagues there improved the hauling route quality to allow the hauling activities more efficient. And it's create a positive impact, means that those activities then able to reduce the GHG emission up to 93,000 tons CO2 equivalent per year.
Wonderful.
Another example in Freeport, Indonesia, our colleagues there advancing the digital mining, and we put the autonomous mining fleets in underground operation, operate in control room, and advancing the safety for the people, and at the same time it reduce the consumption of the diesel by 20% and able to reduce the emission almost 20,000 tons CO2 equivalent. Maybe another example is in Inalum, our aluminum smelter company. 2 years ago, our colleagues in Inalum increased the pot utilization of our molten aluminum production. And through this initiative, we can increase the energy efficiency. As you know, aluminum is energy intensified industry. And at the same time, through this initiative, we can reduce the anode effect of this process. And it will, create the GHG emission abatement up to 46,000 CO2 equivalent each year. So this is some of the effort that we do to make sure that we can able to tackle the issue and shift the stigma.
Yeah. Besides tackling the issue and shifting the stigma, sir, it becomes a competitive edge as you are embedding sustainability in your company's operational day-to-day basis. How do you ensure that it's not only become a compliance issue, but also a perfect business strategy, especially for a mining companies and mining holding companies like Mine ID?
Yes, I think for the mining industry, especially in the Indonesia context, the foundation of sustainability lies in applying the good mining practices.
Right.
To ensure
good mining practices.
Yeah, to ensure that the mineral exploration, the extraction, the exploitation are done responsibly, and at the same time put the concern for the long-term care for the environment, economic and social. And for Mine ID, through, again, the sustainability pathways, it gives us a boost and driver to make sure that we continue to commit and consistent in protecting the nature, develop talent, drive innovation, empower communities, and uphold the good governance of the company.
And giving back to the community.
Yes, for sure.
Thank you so much. Let's give a round of applause for Mine ID. Now moving on to Beberapa, Indonesia. Mr. Philip, thank you so much for joining us in this event. Beberapa is a food tech leader, and it has great innovation and technologies for food processing. But my question would just be, how does Beberapa leverage sustainability, not just for compliance, shifting the stigma, but as an innovation opportunity to create technologies that really is a life-saving for many, many day-to-day basis appliance for food process and so on.
Thank you, Safrina. Well, let me start by saying a thank you to Pa Henry, the Endress+Hauser team, CNBC, for hosting this fantastic event and for inviting me here. Thank you. To answer your question, it's important to know Bühler, we're also a family-owned Swiss company. We were founded in 1860, so we exist and in operation for 165 years. So I think it says a lot how we look at sustainability. It's about running a business in a sustainable way. And for us, sustainability has never been a standalone environmental topic. It has been at the core of our DNA, always bringing together, balancing nature, humanity and economy. And economy is running a successful business. It was also, I think, said earlier by Mr. Matthias, you cannot be sustainable if you don't have a successful, sustainable business. And Bühler, we have a big responsibility and a big opportunity in food processing. Every day, 2 billion people in the world rely on Bühler process technologies for their daily food intake. And that shows where we have an opportunity. And today, that message is I believe, more relevant than ever. The world is a little bit polarizing, different views on sustainability, and in general, people, companies, industries want to produce more with less. And I think there we as a process technology innovator, that's where we can make the difference. To give one concrete example of a typical Bühler innovation in our core business of flour milling is the Bühler Smart. Flour milling is a Bühler Smart mill. Flour milling is a very traditional industry, and the core processes have actually not changed much in the last 100 years. But we have now developed the Bühler Smart Mill. So with automation and digital solutions, the mill manages itself and optimizes itself for better performance, better yield, energy saving, etc. And that's where we bring running a successful, profitable business, where we bring that together with the drive for sustainability.
Okay. Well, as you're partnering with many partners, how do you also ensure that partners and customers share your sustainability values and practice?
Innovation you don't do alone. We are part of a bigger ecosystem. And in Bühler, we work together with partners, suppliers, customers, academia, to really drive that innovation together. One example is our Culture Food Hub in Switzerland. It's an R&D innovation space we have set up together with Givaudan and Migros. So the three market leaders bring together complementary know-how. Bühler as the process technology, Givaudan as the flavor expert, and then Migros knowing the retail and distribution channels. And without those three coming together, it would simply not be possible to provide that R&D platform for startups to accelerate their innovation.
Well, thank you so much for your commitment. Let's give our appreciation for Bühler Indonesia, Mr. Philip. Thank you for the explanation. Now we're moving on to Danone Indonesia. Indonesian people are very familiar with Danone, its products and its services. Ibu Ratih from Danone, my straightforward question will be only, how is Danone turning sustainability into a brand advantage, especially in the eyes of increasingly climate conscious consumers and demographical consumers like Indonesia?
Okay, so basically in Danone, we have a North Star, what we call as a Danone Impact Journey. So this North Star is actually enable us as a business to really integrate the sustainability into the whole aspects. So it's not the other side of the business. And having said so, with from one pillar to another pillar, which actually we have three, environment, health, and also people and communities, we can use the proof point that we built through one pillar to support the business superiority or even to support the other pillar. So maybe I will just give a concrete example on how we
Right.
utilize the sustainability
Yes.
initiative to support the brand. Like for example, we have one of the product from Aqua brand, because basically we have
Aqua.
3 brand, which is, sorry, 4 brand, which is Aqua, SGM, Nutrilon, and also Beberapa. But I will take the example from Aqua, where actually one of the product is the bottled water that are using the 100% recycled plastic.
Wow.
So if we really see the reason why we at the end of the day launching this product is because we want to reduce the plastic consumption and also address the plastic waste. But at the end of the day, this 100% recycled plastic bottle, that is actually 60% less CO2 compared the bottle plastic, the bottled water made from 100%
Yes.
virgin plastic, are actually also can be preference for those consumer who wants to choose more sustainable options. So this is one of the example how our sustainability initiative can also be the solution for our consumer, that is, as you mentioned, to be more climate conscious. So that's one example. The other example will be on the water preservation effort. Because at the end of the day, we did a lot of initiative under water preservation effort from upstream to downstream. And this support the brand to really launch the campaign on 100% pure. Or maybe Indonesian consumer will be more familiar to 100% murni. Because at the end of the day, this pure water that we bring through the brand is actually coming from different water preservation initiative that we're doing in the watershed, also with the communities and also other stakeholders.
Well, wonderful commitment from Danone Indonesia. Let's get an appreciation from Danone Indonesia. And moving on to the next one from Pertamina. Ibu Indira, apa kabar?
Baik.
Yeah. Ibu, how is traditional companies, energy companies, just like Pertamina, redefining the role of sustainability from a compliance-driven requirement to a core part of its business strategy, especially because it's an oil and very really reliably heavy on mining strategy?
Okay, thank you, Safrina. Listen to your questions that we are a traditional oil and gas company. Yes, that's true. We are still depends on our revenue based on our fossil fuels. That's why we still can call like a traditional oil and gas. But we move. Because like Ibu Enia already present, we face the energy trilemma. How we make sure our sustainability, our security, and also affordability, it makes us to transform, to be focused not just in our legacy business, but also to build our low carbon businesses. That's why we built our strategy. We call it dual growth strategy. The first is about how we maximizing our legacy business, because the country still need the security of the energy. But in the same time, we built our low carbon businesses, start with investing in biofuels and geothermal, solar power, green hydrogen, and nature-based solutions. So we move. And in 2024, we already get carbon emission counted until 1.7 million ton of CO2 equivalent, which contribute to the decarbonization target to the national. And through flare and methane reduction, we already do some aggressive activities and kind of in research, and also the technology that we can use to make sure our methane reduction, and especially for CCS, carbon capture, utilization, storage, it's also done. And to make sure the transforms, we not just focus on the operational. We have to make sure the establishment in the organization. That's why sustainability become our KPIs and our performance review. And we equip all the employees with the knowledge about the sustainability. That's why we have a Pertamina Sustainability Academy. From bottom until top, we give them knowledge about the sustainability. Because after we get the knowledge, then we can do the research, we do the innovation, and we can achieve the target of low carbon businesses.
We're actually very curious about what have been the biggest operational or probably cultural hurdles or challenge you have encountered, Ibu, when embedding sustainability into Pertamina's projects and also the mindset of your workforce?
Yes, talking about the hurdles. In operational, we still have a problem because our facilities is already old, yeah, and it needs investment. So we have to more efficient, especially in energy efficiency, and we have to make sure that our operational still can be done as usual.
Right.
But to make sure that the transformation can do to all the cultural, we have a sustainability committee, the board that give a direction, establish a policy, and push the transform from the top, and make sure that everyone in Pertamina in the same boat. We are in the same goals to transform. And then after we equip them with the knowledge, we have from the bottom, we have agent of change to amplify the culture transformation about the sustainability itself. And it begins with some activities that we create in campaign, Sustainability Starts With Me. It's a campaign to have a responsible to everyone in Pertamina, that the responsibility to start do everything about sustainability is come from everyone. So we give the responsibility not just for the top level to give the direction, but also to everyone to give their contribution.
So it has been embedded in every mindset of Pertamina's workforce.
Yes.
Appreciation to Pertamina. Now, Pa Henry, in Endress+Hauser Indonesia, can you explain or share a simple explanation where implementing sustainable technology actually led to measurable business growth, profits, or probably saving?
Thank you, Sabrina. Yeah, we have a lot of example for that, and this is my favorite part, to be honest. We at Endress+Hauser we have the technology, but we also combine it with the digitalization. So this is something that we call that how we can bring the double impact to our customer. One side, it's a sustainability, you'll use less energy, but on the other side also how you increase the efficiency and productivity. One great example that I can share is that we work with a soft drink company. So when you produce the soft drink, you need to clean them because you need to maintain that production line need to remain hygiene for that. So this customer, they after the production, they need to clean the line once in a week. And during the cleaning process, this is a non-productive time. You cannot do anything. You just have to wait until the production line is clean. Then after that, you can reproduce again. So this cleaning process is called CIP, or cleaning in place. And this customer needs 2.5 hours to clean the production line. With our sensor, for example, liquid tren, our sensor are able to detect the contaminant. They're able to detect the thickness of the build-up, for example. So then our sensor are able to tell the production system to say, you already achieved that hygiene level, so you can stop that cleaning instead of waiting for that 2.5 hours to complete. So we are able to give a 15-minute saving, and this 15-minute saving, you can use it to produce more soft drink. So they accumulated into the year, they can produce 200,000 more soft drink, which is bring more additional sales of 500,000 to the productivity. And you need shortened time to clean. That also means that you use less water, you use less energy, you also reduce or produce less chemical waste for you to clean that process. So this is a lot of saving for the customer, but it also a sustainability aspect that you reduce that consumption energy.
And it truly becomes an operational and business strategy that's benefiting and commercially viable for the operations of the business. And as a closing statement for each of the panelists, I would like to invite Mr. Bina Hindra from Mind ID, as you want to give an aspiration or a message to the companies in Indonesia that would want to implement sustainability, but probably as a first mover for their company. Do you have anything to say as a closing statement, how sustainability is very, very important, not just only as a compliance issue, but also a business strategy that will sustain the business for generations and more? Please, sir.
Yeah, I think back to the basic for mining industry in Indonesia. The foundation of the sustainability, again, is on the good mining practices. Through that, we can apply what actually the sustainability aspect can be expected by the stakeholder, by the regulator, and all of the market. And for us in Mind ID, it's actually sustainability is how we live our noble purpose to make into the action and the tangible impact.
Right.
And it's not only on the paper, on the report, but actually it's part of our daily operation, on the business decision. And this is it's not only top of mind for the executive, but this should be part of all of the organization from the top to the bottom.
Thank you for your statement from the Mind ID. Now moving on to Pertamina. Silakan Ibu.
Pertamina is a big, not like big, large corporation. We have responsibility as a center of major value chains, influence national economies, and impact millions of lives. So we have 3 strategic imperatives. First is we must embed sustainability into core our business model. And the second one, we have to lead the partnership and innovation. And the third, we must drive cultural and capability transformation. So talking about sustainability, it means using our scale to create systematic impact, not only by reducing harm, but actively regenerating value for people, planet, and future generations. Thank you.
Thank you to Pertamina. Now moving on to Danone Indonesia, your statement on sustainability, Ibu.
Okay, so I guess today we are facing 2 main issues in regards to sustainability itself. First is the sustainability of the sustainability initiative, either because there's no ownership or there's no future plan on how to ensure that it can be, for example, self-finance the initiative. And then also on the scalability itself. Because at the end of the day, if we are, there's only 1 or 2 or, I don't know, maybe a group of companies here that are doing sustainability initiative, it will not or never be enough to really make a significant impact to the planet, to the people. And at the end of the day, all of us, the business will not be sustainable. So scalability is an issue, and therefore this may be perceived as a call to action, but I really hope that at the end of the day, each of us, all of us here can really innovate and also collaborate together. So at the end of the day, again, we can ensure the sustainability. It will not stop until today or 2030 or 2050, for example, because then hopefully we will reach net zero emission, but even further beyond then 2050. And then also we can really scale up on what we have been started today to really make sure it can create a significant change to the world.
Interesting perspective from Danone Indonesia. Now from Bueller, your closing statement, sir.
Well, I think I would encourage everybody to measure their sustainability impact, to put it back into Bueller context. Our scope 1 and 2 is, I have the quick peek, 60,000 ton CO2 equivalent, but our scope 3 downstream is 40 million ton 40 million ton CO2 footprint. And that's exactly where we want to play together with our customers, not only by replacing the asset base, but even improving the CO2 emission on the existing I-base with digital solutions and with services. I think there we can really work together and have a short-term impact, measurable impact already.
Thank you, Biller. Now, Pak Henry, from Endress+Hauser, thank you so much for having this event with us especially. And do you have any aspirations or message to the companies that receiving awards as today? And then how do you think sustainability will be a wonderful business strategy, a perfect business strategy to companies to thrive in Indonesia cases especially?
Thank you, Sabrina. I'm very pleased to see that, every year we are not lacking of the company who are done really good and done well as Pak Buniono mentioned as well. And of course, we have more awards that we given out later on after this. One wish that I would like to make is that sustainability or the discussion on the sustainability should not be only sit at the CEO level, at the C-suite, at the corporate meeting room. Sustainability now should be rolling down into the operation to make it happen. I think the priority is shifting now. In the past, we're talking about, do we have the corporate strategy on sustainability? I believe most of the company present here, our customer, they have it. Now we need to roll it down into the operational topic, into the team, into the staff, into our employee. So they also not only listen somewhere, but they can do it by themselves as well. Because eventually, to bring changes, it have to be at the operational level. And as Philip mentioned about that, at the operational level, the easy thing that you can do is to get that measurement. Where are you standing and where you need to go? And for that measurement, of course, everything get measured, get done. That's very important. And the other critical point that I think when you talk about the measurement, if you want to achieve this competitive advantage, meaning that sustainability make you use less energy, but on the other aspect, it also increase your productivity, your efficiency. The critical point is that all that measurement point, I think you need to put it into the cloud. With putting into the cloud, you can create a significant impact on the whole plant setup. So this is the level that we should sing. So bring it down the discussion from the sustainability at the corporate level, into the team level, into the operational level, get it measured, then you will get a double impact. One is a less energy consumption, on a second, really to increase the productivity, which will bring you the competitive advantage.
Embedded in every kind of operational activity. Exactly. Thank you so much for joining us in the panel discussion. Let's get a round of applause for our panelists in this model session, and that wraps up our discussion for today. Thank you so much, Mr. Henry, and I'll give it back to my colleague, Sinta.
Thank you, Safrina. We kindly ask all speakers and the moderator to remain on stage to receive token of appreciation and photo sessions. And we respectfully invite Mr. Matthias Altendorf, President, Supervisory Board, Endress+Hauser Group, to come forward to the stage to present the token of appreciation. Thank you so much to all speakers. It's a very insightful discussion. And we also cordially invite Mr. Wahyu Daniel, CEO CNBC Indonesia, to join us on stage for a group photo session. And let's invite the documentation team to capture this moment. Okay, let's start. 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. We now invite all speakers and moderators to return to the seat. And once again, thank you. What a truly fascinating and thought-provoking discussion it has been. The insights shared have been both enlightening and inspiring. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, colleagues and partners. We are about to start again the announcement of Endress+Hauser Sustainability Recognition Award 2025. It is both an honor and a privilege to stand before you in this pleasure time as we recognize the extraordinary efforts of companies that have demonstrated not only a deep commitment to sustainability, but also a powerful vision for a more equitable, resilient, and environmentally responsible future. Today's ceremony is more than just an occasion to hand over trophies or confer accolades. It is a moment to reflect on how far we've come and, more importantly, where we're heading as a global community. As sustainable continues to evolve from a peripheral consideration into a core business imperative, we're beginning to see remarkable innovations emerge. Not only in advanced technology and operation, but also in community outreach, education, agriculture, resource management, and beyond. The recipients of this year's Sustainability Recognition Award come from diverse sectors, ranging from the chemical and food industries to energy, agriculture, pharmaceuticals, and water management. Each organization recognized has set an inspiring example of what it means to integrate sustainability into the very fabric of corporate strategy and culture. Among the awardees are companies that have empowered local farming communities by introducing sustainable agriculture practices, reducing environmental impact, while increasing long-term yields and livelihoods. Others have prioritized educational advancement by supporting scholarship programs aimed at building the next generation of responsible leaders. There are also those who have invested significantly in renewable energy transition, demonstrating that cleaner, more efficient energy sources are not only viable, but essential for long-term resilience and competitiveness. So, this afternoon, let us celebrate not just the achievements of these remarkable companies, but the promise that they represent a future in which business, sustainability, and society advance together. Thank you, and now let us proceed with announcement of the 10 winners in the second session Customer Recognition for Sustainability Award. And without further ado, the Customer Recognition for Sustainability Award is presented to PT Indeso Primatama Scholarship Program. Indeso supports sustainability leadership by offering full scholarship for Master in Sustainability Management to selected employees, building internal capacity. Next, PT Mimiontech Indonesia, centralized sewage treatment system in Jambi, Makassar, and Palembang. Partnering with the government, Mimiontech builds a large-scale sewer system in Jambi, Makassar, and Palembang, improving sanitation for tens of thousands of households. And next, PT Multibintang Indonesia Tbk, brew a better world towards renewable energy. The company sources 58% of energy from renewables with solar panels and biomass plants, reducing GHG emissions by 80% and achieving water balance at key brewers. Next, Merck Indonesia, Thyroid Race Program. In partnership with national health bodies, Merck's program has screened over 72,000 people and trained 6,000 doctors to improve thyroid disease detection and care. Next, PT Oki Pulp and Paper Mills mill powered by renewable energy. OK Mill sources 99% of its energy from renewable, reducing emissions while promoting sustainable large-scale pulp production in South Sumatra. And next, Procter & Gamble Operations Indonesia Fresh Water Usage Reduction Program. P&G improved water efficiency by 68% and converted 20% of fresh water to recycle use, achieving notable cost saving and global recognition in 2025 and 2024. PT Sari Husada Generasi Mahardika, Generative Agriculture. The program promotes organic farming across 70.4 hectares, boosting corn and rice yields while reducing waste and production costs in local villages. Next, Sinarmas Agribusiness and Food, driving efficiency and sustainability through ISO 5001. PT Smart's ISO 5001 implementation LED to significant energy savings and emission reduction, with 20 billion rupiah saved in Lampung through operational improvement. Next, PT Tamaris Hydro, hydropower plant. Operating in 9 provinces, Tamaris Hydro builds hydropower plants that provide clean electricity, enhance infrastructure, and empower over 95% of local residents. And next, Unilever Indonesia. Unilever Indonesia effort to reduce plastic waste. Unilever Waste Program operates in more than 50 cities, handling 90,000 tons of plastic by recycling and converting it to fuel while creating jobs and supporting SDG goals. And it is our great honor to invite Mr. Wahyu Daniel, CEO CNBC Indonesia, to come to the stage to present the award. Congratulations to all recipients of the Customer Recognition for Sustainability Award 2025. Let's give a round of applause. And next, we also cordially invite Mr. Henry Chia, President Director PT Endress+Hauser Indonesia, and Mr. Matthias Altendorf, President Supervisory Board Endress+Hauser Group, to join us on stage for a photo session. Let's invite the documentation team to take a picture. Three, two, one. 3, 2, 1. All right. Thank you so much. And thank you, Mr. Henry Chia, Mr. Matthias Altendorf, Mr. Wahyu Daniel, and congratulations once again to all recipients of the Customer Recognition for Sustainability Award 2025. Give a round of applause again. Ladies and gentlemen, that concludes the Endress+Hauser Indonesia Sustainability Recognition Forum 2025 with the theme Empowering Industry, Advancing Sustainability. I'm sure we have all gained valuable insight today. We extend our heartfelt gratitude to all speakers and honored guests, and once again, congratulations to all award recipients. I'm Shinta Zahara. Thank you and see you at the next event.